Welcome to the Modern Frequency interview. I'm Robert. Thank you, Tamar, for doing this. I pronounced your name right, Tamar, right? Tamar Berk.
You are 100%.
Thank you for doing this, and I have a few questions for you, and we're gonna get this rolling.
Yeah, let's do it.
What made you leap into why did you decide to leap into music? And this is obviously years ago because you've been in the game for a very long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What?
So why music? Well,
Yeah,
to make a very long story short, because nothing happens in a vacuum, I grew up in a household where all of us had to take piano lessons. It was just like the thing that parents gave their kids to do. It's like piano lessons. Some kids had violin lessons, some kids had what do we have piano lessons. And at the same time, music was a big part of our household. So I grew up playing little Bach minuets, and my oldest sister became actually a young concert pianist, played with the young youth orchestras. And so I was listening to Beethoven, Bach, and Mozart like all throughout my childhood. Also music was important to us in a lot of other ways. Like my dad was huge music fan, and he had a reel to reel, and he had a record player, and so he would play a lot of musicals. And I had a record player in my room and would play Disney soundtracks over and over obsessively, thus OCD. Obsessively memorizing Disney songs, and we're talking like classic Disney.
yeah.
So
Very cool.
music was always in me, but initially I went into it through physical stuff like gymnastics and ballet. Ballet being the thing that I really pursued, um to feel music and dance to music, because it's everything to me is just music. And
It's art, basically.
it's art.
Yeah,
And I really was moved, always very moved by music and melodies and everything about it. And so during my years as a dancer, I bought my first guitar. And because you can't carry around a piano everywhere, but you want to like be able to like make music. And so I bought my first guitar, bought a little chord book. They were these like long ass skinny chord books. And I just started writing little songs kind of in the vein of like Edie Brickell,
Oh wow. Oh yeah, the new Bohemians.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
these like really hippie kind of songs, not singer-songwriter so much as a solo artist with a band. Like that was my vision. Like, oh, I want to be like a Suzanne Vega. I want to be like an Edie Brickell. And I would carry around my guitar, and I started writing these songs and recording them and being inspired by all kinds of singer-songwriters, but females. And
Sure.
then like once I realized I could write a song, because it came quite easy for me. Not to say that some of my earlier songs were great, but melodically, I would say my melody, my sense of melody was very good. Would I say my lyrics were great? You know, there was something there. But then a combination of like taking creative writing classes in college, writing a lot of poetry, and honing my skills on my guitar. By the time I graduated and moved to Chicago, my mind was blown by the music scene there. And
Oh
that's when
yeah. Oh yeah.
that's when I was like, okay, I want to be in a band. I need to be in a band. I have to be in a band. And I bought myself my first 4 track, and taught myself how to record songs with using a 4 track, and
Wow.
heard Exile in Guyville by Liz Phair, and my life was never the same, basically.
That's awesome. That is
I
so
know.
cool. But you do remind me of like I put this in my review too. I Mazzy Star meets Sheryl Crow meets Liz Phair.
I love that. Like, because
Yeah.
I love all of them. I mean, you could add in today's game, you could add Lana Del Rey, you could add
Yes.
um let's see, like maybe like a snail mail. You could add, there's a lot of other newer artists too that I really like. Um, but also like an Elliott Smith, Phoebe
Hmm.
Bridgers, some of these really kind of sad pop artists,
Yes.
and always the Beatles, always the
Of
Beatles,
course,
it's
of
always in the
course.
back of my mind. Yeah.
So you've been at it for a while. Why do you think you're emerging now?
Well, to a lot of people, I might be seemingly emerging now.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, really.
And that's great because one never knows what's going to hit the most or make a bigger impact. And um, I've been doing, so I've released 5 solo albums in 5 years, having written the first one right. So the first album was released in 2021. So I was writing that pre-COVID,
Uh-huh.
released that one in 2021 during COVID,
Yeah, yeah,
and then one after another. But beyond that, I had a band in Chicago. I had a band in Portland, three bands in Portland. Like I've been doing this a long time.
sure.
Why is, let's just say, for instance, Stay Close By.
Yes.
What is about that song that has reached maybe a bigger audience? Well, I think because I let go of some not easy, usual ways that I would want to present a song. And I said, I'm going to do a song that I want. First of all, it was the last song written for this album,
Hmm.
and it was for the first song. So in my head, the intention was this is going to be the first song, and I'm writing it last. And I I don't usually do that. So that was a new thing to like intentionally write the first song. So sitting down, what I wanted in my head was this sort of invitation with this kind of big muff guitar, a weird, mysterious invitation into the album. And I kind of wanted to explore a lot of reverb and shoegaze, which I always love.
Yeah.
But the thing with the shoegaze is that sometimes when you really care about lyrics, they sometimes get lost. So I thought, how can I do like my spin on that, where you could still hear the lyrics and understand my vibe, but it
Yes.
still has a shoegazy vibe to it.
Yeah.
And so something about this song has really struck
Accord with
yeah,
people.
maybe more
Yes.
than normal. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Very cool.
it's also a hopeful, I call this hope a song about hopeful optimism that maybe hasn't quite panned out yet.
Yeah. I love
Meaning that you're always hopeful. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. Let's plan a vacation. And just sometimes the talking about that gets you excited and positive and feeling good about moving forward into the future. And it doesn't happen quite yet, but you bring it up and you talk about it, and just sometimes the idea of that is comforting, you
Yes.
know? So
Yeah.
lyrically, I think it maybe is hitting some people right now, like just being comforted by the idea that we could do these things we talk about doing, you know?
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm
Where are you right now? Where do you live right now?
in San Diego.
San Diego. Okay, so you've been in Portland, you've been in Chicago, you're in
Yeah.
San Diego.
I grew up in Cleveland.
You grew up in, I mean, you're all over the place,
Yeah.
really.
And this won't be the last.
Really?
Yeah. San Diego is amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, but I also feel like there's an energy to new places
Sure.
and restarting of your it sounds really esoteric and weird, but like of your soul. Like it stirs your soul to be put in a new situation, and
Iron Man.
it opens you up to just feeling like what am I who am I really? And I did that so many times. And the hardest part about that is when you're trying to make music with a band. But now that I know I produced all 5 of my records, and now that I know that I can do that without necessarily having a band, it doesn't really matter so much. Because when I did move from Chicago to Portland and Portland to here, it was devastating not knowing and having a music scene.
Sure.
Devastating, you know?
You felt disconnected, I'm sure, at one.
Disconnected. And social media and Instagram and TikTok didn't even exist. It was like so new during COVID.
Yeah.
And people didn't look at that as an avenue for promotion of your music necessarily. Whereas, so I could be anywhere. I could be in a fucking cabin in Alaska. Would it matter to you? It doesn't, it wouldn't really matter unless I was trying to tour, obviously, but you could do it anywhere.
Sure.
So it's
Sure.
a little bit different now. So if my intention was I need to find a band, that would be different. But I'm really in a calm, peaceful place where I really play so many of the instruments on my records,
Hmm.
produce them, that I feel like with those key players that I have, like Matt Walker and my mixer and a couple bass players that I call and some lead guitar players, I could pretty much write anywhere, you
Cool.
know?
Very,
So
very neat.
yeah,
Where do you think you fit into the music scene today? Because right now it's very poppy and hip hoppy, and I
I
don't,
know.
it's hard to fit into any kind of mold right now.
You
Not that
know,
you have to, but I'm just saying your music is
a
very,
really good question because as an indie artist,
yeah.
whether you go with CD Baby or DistroKid or TuneCore or whatever, you've got to click on a lot of things: genre, vibe, instrumentation, and they ask you all those questions like, what are you? Are you indie rock? Are you indie pop? Are you alt pop? Are you indie alt pop? Are you pop rock? Are you power pop? And to be honest with you, I'm all of those. I'm not Chapel Roan
Right.
because I don't sing like her.
Mhm.
So that's the distinguishing thing. I could sell Chapel Roan one of my songs because they're poppy and
Yeah.
they have that kind of guitar, pop, rock, cars energy to it that she could fucking do. But
Right.
I certainly don't sing like her. So I think some of those genres come from the vocal, the how the vocal is conveyed,
Yes.
and if there are real drums. So I guess I put myself in the indie rock, indie pop category.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Power pop is a term that is highly, highly, like, I don't know, argued. What is power pop?
Right. Right. Right.
Um, but I do fit into that category, but only some songs. And then yet I've got these shoegazy songs like Stay Close By or Shadow Clues.
Mhm.
And then I also have piano ballads somewhat. So I don't know if you've looked into like all of my catalog, but like I try really hard to emulate my catalog like a Bowie would or a Beatles would, where the songs are not epically long.
Mhm.
They just have a vibe of their own, and some will be on piano, some will be on guitar, just like the Beatles were. Like whatever I'm feeling, I'm a songwriter. It doesn't matter if I'm this way or that way. And so, would you call a piano song indie pop? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
What
Right.
is indie pop?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
I
It's a
mean,
sound. It's indie. It's everything mixed into one, really.
right, because like so you say like somebody like Claro, right?
Mhm.
Like that's bedroom pop.
Yes.
That's, you know, so it's pop, but it's bedroom pop, but it's also kind of groovy. Like there's
Sure.
a hip hop vibe to it. I, I don't know. And then you've got Lana Del Rey. I don't think she's like her own thing.
Oh yeah. Totally. Totally.
She's like singer songwriter, but then she's got these like hip hop grooves, and a lot of her earlier stuff is were produced by hip hop producers.
Yes.
And then, with what's his name, she did these piano ballads,
Mhm.
on some of those albums. So it's really hard to say. I think it's funny you say that because I really torture myself on CD Babies, who I use. I'm trying to click just the right category to be
Yeah.
categorized the right way.
Right. Right.
I mean, I know I'm indie, and I'm indie to a fault because I
Right.
don't have a label.
Right.
I pay for everything. I
Yes.
produce my own shit.
Sure.
I, it's like it's indie to a fault, and so I'm definitely indie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree with that for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Indie rock, maybe. I don't know. But
Yeah,
it gets a little nitty-gritty at times. So,
I know. Indie
so
rock because Matt fucking kills on those drums and is playing a real fucking drum kit and it's just
sure.
like boom. And yes, I layer with some MIDI drums in there, but I could also get rid of the MIDI drums and just have that on there. Like, so
Right.
when we play live, we have a real drummer. We don't, because electronic, I think about a lot of modern music and it is hard to tell. Like, is that a real drummer or is that program drums?
Right.
Usually,
Right.
my mixer, Sean O'Keefe, who has done like Beach Bunny, Motion City soundtrack, Fallout Boy, Plain
Hmm.
White Tees, like he's awesome. But he'll tell me right away, I'll like playing him a song and I'm like, I really like how those drums sound. He's like, well, they're fake. Like,
Wow.
really? And he's like,
Wow.
oh, fuck yeah. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, okay. He's like, but it's how they're produced and mixed that
Yeah.
sound like a real dude's sitting there playing them. And I'm like, well, that's wild because they've come so far with the sounds that you can use now.
Yes. Yes. No, it's crazy.
You can listen to an artist right now and really not know, is this a band? Is this a
Yeah.
soloist?
Yes. They just came out with an AI project, and I'm like,
Yikes.
floored me. I'm telling you.
Wait,
Anyway,
was it that band that like took a fake picture and they got really popular on Spotify? I saw that.
yes. Yes. They were on Rolling
They're called
Stone.
like Velvet something.
It's crazy. It was
I
just
know.
nuts. It's nuts.
I know.
OCD is the new album. It's out September 5th. Why title it that? You touched on it earlier before. And can we expect more gems like Stay Close By?
So OCD is the title. It's also the second single. So the single will be released, the single OCD, the title track, will also be released on the day that the album OCD is released.
Got it.
And I didn't know that I was going to name the whole album OCD. But what happened is, as I collected all these songs, I was just like, these are all about my brain. Like all of these songs are about my anxiety,
Sure.
my circular thoughts, my inability to shake feelings and emotions, and really struggling with those kinds of like really hard things that keep you up at night. And like when I say up at night, like all night, like, and that also has to do with my music. I'm extremely obsessive about my music. A lot of people who write songs don't approach it the way I do. Some do. But when I'm in the midst of writing an album, like I live and breathe it daily. I walk into the studio, I mix all day, listen, record all day, listen to my tracks obsessively over and over and over for a year and a half
Wow, that's a long
and
time.
make all the time and make tweaks and make things and make like it is like a full-time brain job. Like
Yeah. But
so on
it's
on
very
top of
perfectionistic almost.
it's what?
Well, it's a very perfection thing there.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, it's not a perfectionism that's like anyone else but me would get. I I said this in another interview or something that like my brain wants to hear the song a certain way and I have to make it that way.
Hmm.
And I will do anything to make it that way.
Sure.
And I will struggle and struggle and struggle. And then when I like it is literally like a eureka moment when I'm doing my 4 mile walk every day and I've got my AirPods in and I'm listening to my mixes where I'm just like, yes, that was the magic thing. And I have said that so many times about mixes where I'm like so fucking unhappy with the song. And I'm like, this isn't even going to go on the album. Like, I'm not going to put it on. I'm not going to put it on it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just try a few other things. And then suddenly this magic thing that pulls a whole song together. And I'm walking and I'm listening. I'm like, oh, that's it. It's like, you know, and this is how I am. And I started listening to all the songs and living my life and being really having a lot of problems with other things in my brain.
Uh-huh.
I have a hard time shaking obsessive thoughts about stuff. This is like where my OCD is. And I was just like, this album has to be called OCD. Like, if people don't like it, they don't like it, but it is what it is. And you know, and that came after I wrote the song OCD.
Oh,
And so that's actually a very groovy song, actually. It has like a kind of a hip hop rock, rock and roll hip hop vibe to it.
well, I'm looking forward to hearing that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the code for a secret preview before this comes out.
Very
Uh,
cool. Very cool.
I really think you'll like it. I think, you know, looking for more songs in the stay close by range will be touched upon in a lot of the other songs that have a lot of reverb. I can point those out. And then on some of my older albums. In fact, the first single I ever released on my first solo album was called Shadow Clues.
Yes, yes.
And that is a vibey kind of shoegazy song that actually kind of made a lot of impact. Some people still really love that song. So I feel like Stay Close By and Shadow Clues is like really closely like vibey together.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. Well, I can't wait to listen to the rest of the album. I really can't.
I'll send it to you right after this.
All
Yeah.
right, cool. Your songwriting, where do you dig for your lyrics?
I don't really have to dig because my brain is like an open, this sounds gross, but like an open sore. That sounds gross. I don't
No,
mean it like that,
no, I
but
get it. I get it. I get it.
it's like, you know, the saying you wear your heart on your sleeves. I don't wear it for people to see my
Right,
feelings. It's
right.
like so raw here. And I overthink everything. I obsess about everything. I overthink conversations I've had. I overthink feelings. I overthink past things and
You
future
sound
things.
like me in a nutshell, or
Yeah, and
anyone
the
else for that
thing is
matter.
like any therapist would say, well, you can go on this medication and really like chill that out. And I'm like, I really don't want to chill it out. Like I know that it's bad. Some days are really bad, which you probably know.
Mhm.
And those days are really tough. And that's why I write songs.
Yeah,
Other days are a little bit easier. Right now, because I'm in this promotional time, I am a little bit more relaxed because I'm talking about my songs versus like in that state. And when it comes to like my personal life and all these other things, things are always going on.
sure.
So that's another thing that I compartmentalize and can switch over to and then start to obsess about that.
Yeah, yeah.
So whole, yeah.
Do you separate your artistic vision from your personal vision, or do you blend those two together, your personal experiences with your art, with your art?
The when I was younger and was in my little pop rock band in Chicago, I think I was too scared to be really honest about songwriting.
Right,
Not only because I was had other members of the band and we went by a band name, um, which it feels different when you're writing for a band. You censor yourself because they have to play them too. And when it's that personal, uh, I was also like shy about like saying how I was really feeling, you know.
you can't be
I
that.
think
You want to
you
be vulnerable, but you can't be that vulnerable.
not when I was younger, but
Yeah,
what happened is I, you know, in 20 when I first put the first record out, the first record out, I a lot of those first songs on that first solo album were like collected. So there's only a couple that were freshly written for that. But as the years went by and I've released these 5 albums,
mhm,
they've gotten so much more revealing. And I was just been more comfortable connecting and being real. And after my dad died in 2021 and that second album came out, I just didn't really care. I'm just going to say exactly what's going on with me. And so many people related to that that I was like, it's not easy to do,
Sure.
and you want to be protective,
Mhm.
but I'm not to the level of Taylor Swift or Chapel Roan or anything even fucking remotely like that. So I thought, well, the people who like my stuff want to connect to it because I was getting DMs and messages all the time. Like, this song helped me so much through this death or this divorce or the like, oh my gosh, this song. And that's what matters,
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, the more honest I am, not only did it help me like therapeutically in like a way, but a lot of people like connected.
Yeah,
So
it helped others too. That's awesome.
yeah, so I just was like, well, I'm just gonna lay it all on the line because
Yeah,
when I'm dead, it'll be a, I guess, a sort of chap, like almost like a book of my life.
sure, sure.
Anybody's interested in knowing who this person was, you can listen to all my albums in a row. And it is very linear in a lot of ways. That's the thing, I do pick up some older demos, but I always refresh them to be of the moment and of the day and of the album. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah, totally. But your lyrics are very raw and honest, I gotta say. So I think everyone appreciates it.
Yeah, thank
They're
you.
they're universal. Um, well, it was a pleasure interviewing you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go on tour soon?
So I'm playing in Chicago,
As Scubas,
September
right?
27th
Is that
with
how
the
you pronounce it? Scubas?
Shubas.
Scubas. I've been
Shubas.
there before. I've been there before.
Oh,
I
it's been
should know
around
how to pronounce it.
forever, and we're
Yes.
gonna we're gonna head out there and play a record release because it feels, I don't live there anymore, but it feels like a homecoming just because that's where I first had a band.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have a record release here in October.
Okay.
And I'll be doing some solo things here and there. I much prefer being in a studio,
Uh,
but it's nice to be out there and play my songs. We just played a show here and it was so wonderful because people really loved it. And I'm very gun shy about live shows. Um, I'm not like, I just like being alone in the studio and creating, like performing. Once I'm up there and singing, I'm good. But the idea of it, it just
stage
terrorizes
fright.
me.
It's like stage fright.
Yeah. But then once I'm up, I'm okay. But it's like the anticipation of it is like kills me. It's just kills me.
Are you going to come to New York soon? Because that's where I'm based.
I really want to. Oh my gosh. If I could
And
get like a good club date where I can like open for a really nice club. Oh, a dream. I mean, I love New York. I played there before with many different bands.
yeah, yeah.
But things are different now, so I don't even know which clubs,
Sure, sure, sure. No, I mean a lot of them closed down, new ones are opening up, and
Yeah.
but I gotta recommend you one place is
Okay.
Joe's Pub.
Okay.
Joe's Pub. Go there and you'll love it.
Okay.
It's Alicia Keys, Adele, everyone performed there at some
And
point.
it's kind of a more intimate
It
setting.
is, it is, and
Oh,
I like it.
I love that.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. So definitely check that
Okay.
out. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
You got it. Thank you. So nice for you to reach out. So this will also be in print. We'll do a little review and this will be online too.
This will be strictly on modernfrequency.com.
Awesome. And then I'll send you the download code. Will you review the album?
I don't do reviews of albums
Yeah.
too often. I do interviews and stuff like
I
that.
love
So
that. Oh,
yeah,
good.
because that's like to me doing reviews is like people will like eat you up or love you. You know what I mean? And
I know.
I can't take the criticism. I'm too thin-skinned.
No, it's true. You know, reviews are weird too because it's kind of like when people tell you what to think before you have a chance to think it yourself.
Right.
I do have an issue with that. It's like just tell me what the vibe is,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
let me play it for myself.
Exactly. You got to know.
Like I like when people go like, if you like, Phoebe Bridgers, Liz Phair, Snail Mail, Lana Del Rey, Elliott Smith, Slow Pulp, you'll like Tamar Berk. Like I like that because it doesn't really tell you anything other than like the vibes.
Sure.
Um, but I do, I also do like when people really analyze lyrics. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Some people really get into that.
Oh yeah, totally, totally. I love
Yeah.
it. Thank
Thank you.
you.